Hello, everyone, and welcome to this SEA and PPC Specialist Spotlight session. If this is a first time for you, great to have you here. I'll be explaining you in a second how we're doing this webinar today. If you're back from a previous webinar, welcome back. It's great to have you here again. I'm glad to see you guys participating. I always quickly wanted to check if everyone can hear me all right and see us all right. So if so, please somebody let us know in the chat. That would be great. All right. Thank you, Frauke, Annika. Awesome. Okay, guys. My name is Sam. For those who don't know me yet, I'm your host for this webinar, and I'm excited to have you with us for another episode here. Today, our guest is someone who's made a real impact in the e-commerce performance world. Goes by the name of Chris Ridley, and he is head of marketing at Evoluted, an award-winning digital agency that is based in Sheffield in the UK. Evoluted, they are known of delivering sharp and data-driven strategies across SEO, PPC, and web development. And Chris has been at the heart of some of their most forward-thinking work. So I'm very pleased to have him here. In fact, under his leadership, Evoluted recently clinched a win at the UK Search Awards of last year for the category Best Use of Search Business to Consumer in PPC. Today, he'll be unpacking that award-winning campaign, explore the strategy behind it, and we can hear how Chris and his team are redefining how we think about search from channels to behavior to results. If you might have any questions in the meantime, please drop them in the chat. So if a question pops in your mind, drop them in the chat because we will get to those at the end of this webinar. That's also what this webinar is for. But before that, Chris will do his thing and have his talk where he'll be sharing all the awesome things that they've been doing on this case. So with no further ado, Chris, welcome to the Spotlight. It's great to have you here. Could you maybe, before you kick things off, quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role at Evoluted?
Hi, sure thing. Thank you, Sam. As you mentioned, I'm Chris, head of paid media at Evoluted. I've been at Evoluted for 6 years now, absolutely loving it. And we've been working with some amazing clients across e-com, lead gen, B2B and B2C. And today I'm really excited to show you the new tool we built that will help B2B and B2C clients across the markets really on controlling their spend and minimizing that keyword cannibalization we all hate to see.
Right, awesome. So yeah, we've been together last Friday to quickly rehearse, and you had a talk that was just best if you just did your thing from A to Z. It's a nice story to listen to and to take away a lot of learnings from. I'll be waiting off the stage for you to finish, and then I'll start and host the Q&A. Got some questions myself that I want to throw in there. So I forgot to mention to the people that are listening, the session will also be recorded and shared with you afterwards. Zosha, my colleague, she is also participating in the chat for some quick questions about Producthero. So let's not hold it off any longer. Chris, please take the stage and do your thing.
Sure thing. Let's get the show on the road. Well, I'm here to talk about how to stop paying twice for your search traffic. A lot of us will be familiar with search cannibalization, but I'll discuss a little bit of that just in case later on. The way that we achieved it is through an inside scoop tool we made, where we combine the best of AI, organic data, and your Google Ads or your Microsoft Ads keyword traffic. To kick off quickly, I'm Chris Ridley, as I mentioned. For anyone showing up late, head of Evoluted, been here 6 years, absolutely loving it. I've also spoken at events such as Sheffield DM, which Evoluted runs ourselves once every other month, as well as PPC Live UK, run by the amazing Anu, and Brighton SEO and Hero Conference UK too. I've also featured on some good podcasts, such as the PPC Chat Rounder by Anu, and on the Marketing O'Clock one, where I got to talk all things Performance Max with their amazing team last year. But that's enough about me. What we're here to talk about is the amazing award-winning work I did with the team at Puckstop and Evoluted across our organic and paid teams, deliver several awards from the Northern Digital Awards event and some great results for our clients. This includes the Best B2C Digital Marketing Campaign and Best Integrated Campaign Awards from the Northern Digital Awards event as well. We also received some amazing feedback from the judges about our innovation that combines creative problem solving with the real-time data usage. But it wasn't all pats on the backs and champagne showers though. We had some real hesitations from our clients and some skepticism from Puckstop, as they'd previously been stung by Google Ads before, stealing their organic traffic. So what I'll be doing, I'll be talking about that journey with Puckstop, how it came to a tool being built, and how we implemented it for them as well. But first, a bit more about Puckstop, the client. They're actually an independent family-run ice hockey store in Sheffield, just down the road from our office. And they specialize in ice hockey, and they have an online store as well. They're also long-time sponsors of the Sheffield Steelers. They've been a long-time partner of theirs. And we've been a long-time partner of Puckstop as well, with our organic team working with them for several years. Due to this long partnership with our organic search team, we've really helped them establish a strong organic presence on Google search within a competitive and niche market for them. In the 2023 off season though, when the ice hockey season ended and the new one was about to come up, we helped migrate their website, Puckstop, to Shopify, taking this low traffic point as a great time to do it. This new Shopify website provided improved user experience for their customers. However, with many common issues with migrations, the teething bit is just we saw a small dip in performance and traffic in their key metrics as well. So for the 2023-2024 ice hockey season, we set some clear objectives with our clients where we sat down together, worked them out to make sure that we remedy that, but we see growth as well. This included us doing a grow sales via Google search by 25% target, as well as restoring our organic rankings and search dominance. It's a niche market. They absolutely cornered it, ranking 1 for a lot of terms. We wanted to make sure that continues. However, the stakeholders were skeptical of investing in Google Ads to help achieve these goals. As I've mentioned, they previously got stung by running Google Ads, where they saw their organic traffic getting stolen by their Google Ads, in particular their brand terms as well. So we've had to sit down and really make sure that they're not paying twice for that traffic. Once through their long-term investment in organic, but then again, the cost of the ad click that stole the traffic from them. Due to the competition in their SERPs as well, we knew Google Ads was crucial for them to get this growth and to get that incremental growth, not just get back to where they were, but really push beyond that. And we really had to sell the benefits of Google Ads to them while reassuring them that we will protect their organic traffic. So my first challenge arrived. How do I get this buy-in from the client? How do I tell them and show them we can protect their organic traffic while getting them new traffic and new sales through Google Ads? The answer is actually through a data-driven and dynamic strategy that we built, paid and organic teams together, that we helped develop over the years, really, from working with their organic team, used all that data to really help us make an informed decision where we continuously share data between Google Ads and organic traffic to ensure we maximize visibility and minimize any cannibalization we'd see. But if you've worked with a search engine like Google or Microsoft, you'll know they don't make it easy to align organic and paid data together. The differences are small between a search query and a search term in the two different marketing worlds. And that was a big challenge we had to face. For example, Google Ads keywords don't perfectly align with the organic keywords SEO teams track, especially due to the change in match types you have within Google Ads, where an exact match is no longer exact. It doesn't perfectly match with the organic term you're tracking. The SERPs are also constantly evolving with AI overviews coming in, map packs growing, ads appearing where they didn't used to appear. All of this is making it harder than ever before to try to align the two channels. So how did we prevent this overlap while minimizing our Google Ads costs, you're probably asking, with all these changing variables? Similar to the Man City bench shown here, we had a lot of value in the form of the SEO keyword data waiting to be used, just sat within our platforms, sat within data warehouses, not really being fully utilized. We simply had to work out an effective way to do this. After a particularly cold and wet run one day, the idea came to me while I was running down the street trying to get a personal best. It just dawned on me that, what if? What if we could use that real-time organic ranking data, not just historical data that tells us what we previously ranked and the traffic we got, but day-to-day, or even potentially hour-to-hour organic ranking data? If we can inform Google Ads how our organic keywords are performing on the SERP, could we dynamically control our Google Ads to make sure that they only appear when our visibility is low? If so, this would prevent us from getting a lot of search cannibalization. We could really minimize that for our search ads while ensuring that our shopping ads continue running business as usual, because we all know the user that most likely clicks on a shopping ad is a lot further down the marketing and sales funnel than a user that clicks on a text ad where they're not looking for the pricing or the color and all that. But before we could even start working on this solution, we needed to understand how we'd get it to work. How can we match the data together? And how can we build a platform, a tool to operate this for us? Bookstop doesn't have a huge budget. They're a family-run independent store, and they're smart with their money when it comes to marketing. Nor did we have data streams of data that we could just reach in and get thousands of insights. We had to be really clever with the data we had and the money we had to make sure it went the furthest it could. It doesn't mean that we couldn't get creative though. We couldn't find a way to dynamically control our ads. We just had to control the keywords on an on-off scenario rather than trying to increase or decrease bids, which would have been an ideal situation. This made us have to work smart. And by working smart, we also had to use smart bid strategies within Google Ads. That means using the tool to push ads to go live by pausing or enabling keywords as well. This was a binary condition we had to go with, on or off, which actually made everything a bit easier to work with, but then gave us the scope in the future, which I'll talk about later, to really develop and evolve this situation. So one of the first things we had to sort out was what is the threshold for us to determine when to turn a keyword on or off in Google Ads. After reviewing a lot of the SERP pages for Bookstop, working out what normally is below the fold on mobile devices, we were then able to estimate roughly that for all of them on an average, it would be around rank 3. If you were ranking fourth or lower, you're most likely not going to be seen organically. So we'd want to turn the ads on. If you're ranking 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, we have a good chance of you appearing and we can turn the ads off. This kind of allowed us to control it. And in the future, we can go in and we can update this number as well. We've actually recently gone in and updated this to be rank 2 now, because we've seen that with AI overviews and other things changing, we actually need to be more aggressive with our bidding to make sure we keep that traffic coming into the website while also gaining that incremental traffic that we wouldn't get otherwise. So after sitting down with the SEO team, it was decided that the best approach would be use a form of API connecting SEO Monitor, in this case, our keyword organic ranking tracker, to a Google Sheets dashboard we built. We were able to use the API for free as no extra cost, as a subscribed member to SEO Monitor. This allowed us to connect it up really simple and pull through daily data from around 5 o'clock in the morning on what our organic ranking is per keyword we're tracking. And from there, we can build a whole system, which allows us to use keyword labels and Google Ads keywords to then actually start pairing up organic and paid keywords. This all sounds, fairly straightforward, but we then had to push this data into Google Ads. And for that, we had to build a bespoke JavaScript that would send it in there and action what we needed within the Google Ads platform. On paper, this approach sounds straightforward. You get data from one place, put it into a spreadsheet, mix it with the other, and send it back. However, we soon realized there's a lot of factors to consider when trying to build this, and there was plenty more challenges for us to overcome in the long term. I'm now going to spend a little bit of time kind of highlighting all these challenges we faced, common ones that you'll see, and how you might want to approach them as well. The first one comes with the actual keywords. As I've mentioned already, the changing in match types, but also the changing in how keywords behave in Google Ads really makes it hard for you to actually choose one organic keyword and one Google Ads keyword and go, they're a perfect marry. What we often see is more than one organic keyword actually triggering the same Google Ad keyword, especially if you're using broad or phrase match. So we can't assign two labels. If we assign two organic keywords to one Google Ad keyword, all we'll see is if one of them is ranking 3, the other one's ranking 4, the ad will get turned on and then turned off on the same day, reversing what we want, or worse, turning it on for the lower volume keyword that we might not want to when that drops below 4. So to resolve this, I really recommend you kind of sitting down, looking at the different search terms you're getting, go through your Google Ads search term report, but also going through your Google Search Console or similar organic keyword data and actually looking, okay, which one's most aligned with what we're trying to promote on Google Ads. And when you find the organic keyword that aligns most with the SERPs that your Google Ad is seeing, but also the intent, that is the best one to apply as a keyword level label. So you can, in this instance, we went with hockey ice skates because hockey skates also kind of came up with rollerblades and like inline skates, which we don't actually want because this is an ice hockey client. And this took a little bit of manual work, but we're working on processes to help you kind of streamline this as well. And it's only a thing you have to do once with the keywords, and then it's kind of set, which is also quite nice. The other challenge we came up against was the keywordless future of Google Ads and advertising. We've seen AI Max for search recently get announced. We've had Performance Max now for a few years, and we've had dynamic search ads for as long as I can remember. All of these don't use keywords to help you target. Instead, they're kind of more of a prompt or, search themes, as Google calls them, which actually a recent Google Ads rep told me search themes are more of a close relationship to broad match keywords than anything else. It gives you a direction to target, but it doesn't give you much else. The way that we kind of approach this is, to begin with, we turned off the Performance Max campaigns that had search ads in it, and we made them feed only Performance Max campaigns that allowed us to carry on our e-commerce, product feed promotion as much as we want without impacting the actual search elements of the SERP page. The other thing we did with dynamic search ads as well is really utilized negative keywords, really put them in there, bulked it out, making sure that we didn't capture traffic we didn't want. The best way to do this is take all the keywords you're targeting and put them all in there as phrase match. That will block it out, because the last thing you want is it stealing the traffic. We've also working on a solution for this as well, which we'll mention later on in this slide. So once we ironed out these blockers we came up with the product we have today, a dashboard within Google Sheets powered by a keyword tracking API and a bespoke JavaScript that goes straight to your ad platform. And this can be customized to use different APIs as well. So if you're not signed up to SEO Monitor, but you have another keyword tracking tool, we can connect it up. If you're using, say, Microsoft Ads instead of Google Ads, we can create a bespoke JavaScript for that as well. This solution has protected Puckstop's organic presence while allowing our shopping ads to run business as usual, unimpacted, while our search ads dynamically behave based on our organic rankings for the same terms. Whenever we saw Puckstop's traffic dip, our Google ads were able to come in there and protect it. However, me saying all this sounds amazing, but the proof really is in the pudding. Our integrated search strategy delivered great results for Puckstop, allowing the business to smash their targets. That 25% growth they wanted, we achieved 113%. We also saw year-on-year growth for organic search as well, in around 5%, which just shows this isn't us just stealing traffic from organic search. We're actually capturing traffic while still letting organic search grow. The Google Ads activity as well generated 27 times ROAS from a small budget of just £2,000 a month. Caveat here is ice hockey skates, ice hockey equipment can be in the hundreds of pounds, and some people might buy a whole set. They're just new to the sport, or they just need to update everything. So we were dealing with some higher ticket priced items here. You might not see a 27 times ROAS in your account, but I'm pretty sure you'll see some good results coming from this if you set it up right and have a really good strategy. We also saw conversion rates on the website increase by 11.66%, which is really good considering all the work we put into the website to really help that, perform better on that Shopify platform. And we also received a glowing review from Puckstop, our client. Richard Day, the director at Puckstop, really gave us some positive feedback about working with us and how great it was. However, there's always room for improvement. And while I showed you the amazing feedback we got from our judges from the Northern Digital Awards, we also got some constructive feedback too from them, ways that we can improve, such as hearing what we're planning to do next. How are we going to integrate these keywordless tools such as Performance Max and now AI Max for search? But also, what is the long-term strategy here? Are we going to just build this and put it out in the wild and leave it? Or are we actually going to provide a life service to this, keeping this tool up and alive and relevant as Google Ads evolves? Well, the answer to this is a nice little roadmap I've put together. The first thing we want to do is integrate with Performance Max, with dynamic search ads, and with AI Max for search. We want to do this via the automated negative keyword list tool that we've mentioned as point 2. So whenever a organic keyword is ranking above that threshold, we will then tell Google to add that keyword as an exact match negative keyword to your account level. This can stop it all. We can also, if you don't want your shopping ads to stop, we can just set it at campaign level and fire it in there as well. And that list will update every day. So if your organic keyword ranking drops for a certain term, we take that negative keyword out and you can start targeting again. We're also looking at ways we can start automatically reviewing the SERPs to determine what that threshold should be. We can really work on that, making sure that we're not blocking your ads too soon or not running them too late. We can also start looking at ways of automating how we label the keywords to the organic terms using those Google Ad keyword labels. This will take out a lot of the manual aspects to it, but also provide you a better result. You'll still have to review it, but saves you having to type out all of those keywords, or maybe 100 or 200 keywords, depending on what your account size is like. And finally, the one I'm most excited about is allowing you to do incremental bidding and device adjustments within this tool. Like I said, at the moment, it is a binary, turn the keyword off, turn the keyword on. We're looking at ways where we can integrate manual CPC into this for bigger accounts, where you can actually start telling it that if the mobile ranking drops below 3, increase mobile device bidding only by 50%, or if, you're in a certain area, say Nottingham or Coventry, which also has ice hockey teams, we could become more aggressive in those areas when we see keyword ranking drop. So we're actually pushing in those areas rather than UK wide. That is everything about the tool. If you'd love to learn more about it, connect with me via the QR code. I'm also running a workshop as well, where I'll do a step-by-step instruction guide on how to implement this yourself. The information about this will be sent out after this webinar. Thank you.
All right, Chris. Thanks, man, for pulling back the curtain to show what goes on into an award-winning PPC strategy. Um, to everyone listening, now is the time to put some questions in the chat. This is where we can go a bit more in depth if you feel like it. Let me kick it off in well, emphasizing what you just said, right? So you've built an SEO monitor tool that you synced. That's how you made it work for this case. And if you're interested in seeing specifically how you could do the same thing to automatically pause ads when ranking are strong and restart them when they drop and so on, you can then join Chris in his training workshop that we will add in the follow-up of this email. Well, maybe you can tell us already a little bit more, Chris, on how you replicated this already to some other clients at Evoluted.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started with Puckstop, but we're also rolling out to other clients as well within the hospitality industry and other more B2B, where we've seen, long-term partnership with our SEO team or their in-house SEO team, seeing really good organic performance. But then we don't want to just turn off all ads for certain aspects of their business. So we've worked on this solution together. And once you've built it once for one client or one brand, if you're in-house, it is easy to replicate this for your other clients or your other brands as well. You've got the structure there. It's just a carbon copy with just that kind of personalization based on the organic ranking thresholds you want for that, but also changing the labels as well. So once you've set it at once, it's easy to kind of replicate it.
All right, cool. Thanks for that. And then let's just go to the first question from people in the chat. This one is from Vincent. Hello, everyone. Congrats. Seems an interesting solution. I have an additional but still similar cannibalization problem. I have my own products, unique EANs, and sell them via my own website and marketplaces all over Europe. If my marketplaces rank high or use paid ads for one of my EANs at a specific moment, I don't want to bid or advertise myself. For me, it's okay if the sales go to my marketplace. Would you have a solution for that?
In terms of, so there's two aspects there. There's one about if they're organically ranking high, the marketplaces. If you connect to their keyword tracking tool, you could then run this script for their keywords instead. The issue you will have is you'd only be able to use, again, one keyword label per keyword. So if you've got 5 marketplaces and yourself, you can't really use all 6 lists. What you'd have to do is potentially adapt the tool so it looks at all 6 of them and bases it on the highest. Something that you want to look at, your work marketplaces will allow you that data, which probably not. Happy to kind of talk to you about it separately. The other thing about them bidding on your terms, again, without you knowing what they're bidding or having some say or control over how they bid, there's no real way for you to kind of stop that. A lot of businesses I've worked with, they kind of just get an agreement in place where they, if it's a marketplace they're really close with, they normally say, hey, can you not bid on our brand terms, within this market, within this region. So that might be another approach for you.
There's 2 options there for you, Vincent. Hope that puts you in the right direction. Otherwise, feel free to drop a follow-up question in here. On to the next one by Christian. Have you run shopping ads during the test? How did you avoid don't affect shopping ad performance?
Yeah, so we did run shopping ads. They were originally set up in a PMax, Performance Max campaign that had search, display, video, and shopping. As I mentioned in one of the slides, we had to kind of turn that off and just make a feed-only version of it. So we kept the shopping element of that Performance Max live. And because we were only controlling search keywords, it wasn't actually stopping our shopping ads at all. Shopping ads ran as usual, because from the data we saw for Puckstop and a lot of our clients, people that click on shopping ads, the ones at the top with the prices, they're normally in the buying stage or deep in the research funnel part of your marketing funnel. So you want them to run, because those people that click on the search ads are sometimes higher at the top, or they're looking for your specific brand. So we kept them running. We didn't see any impact on their performance. We had strong performance beforehand from their shopping elements, strong performance afterwards still. We just saw everything else kind of increase a little bit because we had dedicated budgets to search, where we were able to have the budget running, but push that budget into keywords where we had lower organic ranks. So yeah.
All right. Hope that's helpful for you, Christian. Then Jack is wondering if you have the spreadsheet to share.
Yeah, we do. If you go to the Evolude website, we have a resources section, our work, and you'll see a document there, which is kind of a written step-by-step guide. If you follow that QR code as well, it takes you to my link tree, and I have it in there as well. I'm sure we can add it to the follow-up email as well for you.
Cool. Yeah, sure we can. And the script is also there, Jack. I've seen that page before. Awesome. He's glad, as well as Christian's also glad with what you said. I'm getting to the next question. That is from Akke. Hey Akke, hoe is het? Hopelijk gaat alles goed. Leuk dat je er bent. What is the difference between Google Search Console data via API and keyword tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, and so on?
Yeah, so really good question. The search term console data is the queries users actually search to appear on your website. So they're not kind of grouped together or truncated in any way. When tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, SEO Monitor, these are the keywords that you put in and tell you want to track. And then they all kind of look for the search terms that kind of trigger that, so there is a bit of a difference. With us, when we're actually determining what to use as pausing for the organic ranking, we found using our tracked keywords are better. The only challenge you have there is, as new search terms, new search behaviors develop, new queries might be coming through that you haven't got a keyword to track. So it's always worth kind of jumping back into your SEO Monitor, back into Ahrefs, and looking at what are these new query groups coming up, and do you need to add a new keyword to track for those as well?
That's an interesting way to look at it. Share what you feel about that, Akken, if that's helpful for you. Oh, there's a follow-up here from Vincent, who had the question about the EANs and the marketplaces. He said, thanks, Chris. I'm afraid Amazon or Bol.com, for example, won't share their data with me. By your knowledge, is there any way to track in ads if someone else is bidding on my EAN?
You can have a look at auction insights from like ad group level. This will tell you the domain, but it won't tell you what they're bidding on. But if you have tight ad groups for your EANs, then that might give you some insights. I know that some third-party tools also kind of tell you what ads are being run for certain search terms, what keywords are being targeted. You can kind of use that for insights. I don't have any solution right now at this moment about how to actually action those in terms of a automated solution. But if you want to talk more about it, connect with me, and I'd love to kind of like share ideas.
Nice. Thanks for that, Chris. I'm gonna get near to ending this webinar session, as it seems all questions have been answered. Since there's still a couple of people in here, please, if you got any feedback, what did you feel about the webinar? Are you satisfied with the way we set this up, or do you have any ideas on how to improve? Feel free to drop that in the chat now, whilst I'm going and direct myself at Chris again for my final question. Chris, there's a lot of things happening with AI-driven SEO tools. So if we look ahead of us in 2026, how would you see the interplay between those AI-driven SEO tools, automation in Google Ads, and organic page share evolving? What should marketers prepare for next?
Yeah, so from a Google Ads paid marketer point of view, I'm slightly old school. I like to have control. I like to have visibility of my data. I'll utilize AI Max for search. I'll utilize Performance Max. But I always like to have a manual, even if it is a smart bidding campaign, there that I can still control the data, control where I bid. So as long as we have those tools, I always encourage you kind of have a bit of that to keep a bit of control, so you know what's actually working. As these AI tools develop, if you want more visibility, contact the brand liaisons. You have like ads liaisons, like Nava Hopkins for Microsoft Ads, and you have Jenny Marvin for Google Ads. They're both really receptive. Just contact them, tell them what type of insights you want to gain, tell them what data you used to have can't. They're great via LinkedIn and X if you do want to talk to them, and they normally give you an update fairly quickly. In terms of how to kind of control your search cannibalization, it's learning how AI overview is impacting your SERPs will be a big one. Work out if they're appearing. There's tools coming out on the market that will kind of give you alerts or let you see if an AI overview appears for search terms. That could be a really good way to start. In terms of optimizing for AI overview, that's not my specialism now, but expect us to start seeing ads in ChatGPT and other AI tools, which will start competing with Google Ads and Microsoft Ads. That will be kind of the next shift where we have to go conversational advertising rather than keyword targeting. So that'll be a really interesting one.
I agree. Thanks. Another big thank you, obviously, for today. We'll be sending out the recording shortly to everyone, so please keep an eye on your inbox. If you want to keep the conversation going, or you have any follow-up questions for me or Chris, feel free to email us at hello@producthero.com. I can get them shared with Chris, or you can contact him directly here via his QR code. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, we'll be back at the end of July with the next webinar. So keep pushing those boundaries in the meantime and take over the search engine results phase. All right. See you guys.
Cheers. Bye.